Hello, and thank you all for joining me today. My name is Jeremy Rosso, and on behalf of the rest of my team, I am here to present you with our business plan for Coast to Coast Compost, the innovative solution to disposing of compostables at home. Our company will be seeking a $300,000 investment in return for a 29% equity stake in the company. This equates to a $1,050,000 valuation. The idea behind Coast to Coast Compost was developed by our CEO, Holly Beach. Holly is an avid composter who saves all of her organic material to be properly disposed of or used in her home garden. Previously, her solution for storing her organic material until it was ready to be disposed of was to place it in a reusable container on her countertop. Holly would add her waste material to the container until it was full and ready to be transferred to the garden or to her city's organic collection bin. Unfortunately, this left a container full of rotten food on her counter for long periods of time. Talk about a disgusting, smelly eyesore. Taking the compostable material out to the city waste bin after each meal was not an option, and between her and her husband, neither of them wanted to clean that container once the material was disposed of. She tried other products, such as the compostable can liners, but the first time one of those ripped and spilled all over the floor, it was obvious they were more trouble than they were worth. She wanted to continue composting on her own, but knew that the current solutions were not convenient for her needs. Presenting the Coast to Coast Compost Disposable Bin. The container is made from a 100% biodegradable paperboard material, meaning it can be easily disposed of in your city's organic waste collection bin after use. The container comes in a simple, aesthetically pleasing design that will blend into the decor of any kitchen without drawing attention to what is contained inside. The container also comes with a reusable lid that will help contain odors until the contents are disposed of. The bin solves a problem for those who are avid home composters and also for those who reside in areas where it is mandatory to separate and properly dispose of compostable materials. Coast to Coast Compost will be founded as an LLC operating out of Seattle, Washington. We chose to place our operations in the Pacific Northwest as it'll centralize us in our initial target market and keep us close to other potential markets as we expand. The mission statement for Coast to Coast Compost is to be the #1 disposable, compostable, and eco-friendly countertop container in America. The vision of the company is to create less waste and create a healthier planet. The 5 founders will assume roles within the executive levels of our organization and oversee each department based upon previous experiences in their given fields. Holly Beach will operate as our Chief Executive Officer. Evan Nebeker will act as the Chief Financial and Accounting Officer. Aaron Burt will act as Chief Operations Officer. Dan Blau will be acting Chief Information Technology Officer. And I will assume the role of Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Now let's take a look at the industry that Coast to Coast Compost will be entering. Coast to Coast Compost will be entering the cardboard and paperboard container manufacturing industry. The industry is classified as mature in nature with slow and steady growth year over year. In 2016, industry sales totaled over $56 billion. The largest segment of the industry is packaging for food and beverage products such as paper plates, cups, napkins, and silverware. Coast to Coast Compost will operate in a niche market of compostable goods within this segment of the industry. Taking a quick look at a 5 forces analysis, we can identify what the landscape will look like for entering this industry. Barriers to entry are defined as moderate. Large capital expenditures, such as plant, machinery, and raw inputs, are needed at startup. Skilled labor is also an investment that will need to be made to get the operation off the ground. Threat of substitutes within the industry are high. There is little differentiation between products in the market. There is also the threat of substitute materials such as plastics, metals, woods, and resins. Bargaining power of suppliers is moderate. The 3 largest paperboard suppliers control 60% of the market, which makes building relationships key to sustaining price points of inputs. This consolidation of supply could be a benefit if the company can take advantage of the supplier's economies of scale. Bargaining power of the buyers is also moderate, as the customer preference can greatly impact demand of certain containers. The recent trends for eco-friendly products presents an opportunity for coast-to-coast compost within the market. Finally, competitive rivalry is high as similar-sized companies are competing to sell similar products. This has led to a trend of mergers and acquisitions within the industry. Currently, the market is fairly saturated with many companies producing similar products but for different applications. There are 3 companies identified as main competitors but for different reasons. WestRock is the largest paperboard and cardboard product manufacturer in the industry. Eco Products is the leader in compostable food-grade cups, plates, and utensils. And Autumn River or Greenlid is the product most like Coast to Coast's offering. They produce a home compost bin that is biodegradable but is very unappealing to look at, which is how Coast to Coast differentiates themselves from them. In order to succeed within the industry, Coast to Coast Compost has identified 5 key factors for success. The first is the price and supply of key inputs. A steady stream of low-cost material is essential to maintaining production, keeping total costs down, and maintaining margin. Automation suggests that the more processes that can be automated, the more efficient manufacturing will be, and the company will have a lower labor cost to carry. Economies of scale. Taking advantage of high volumes will allow Coast to Coast to keep down costs and scale production more rapidly. Investment in research and development is vital to stay on pace with technology and invest into new product lines to diversify and be in the right position to capitalize on new opportunities. Finally, flexibility. Coast to Coast must be able to adapt to shifts in the economy and consumer preferences. Next, we'll take a look at the sales and marketing strategies that will be used by Coast to Coast Compost. The initial target market for Coast to Coast Compost will be Seattle, Washington. Seattle was chosen as the market to launch in due to a high concentration of individuals identified as being in the target demographic and city laws that require the separation and disposal of compostable goods. Within the target market, there are 2 segments that Coast to Coast Compost has identified as being ideal candidates to use the product. For descriptive purposes, the 2 segments have been labeled as James and Jane. James is a young professional in his mid-20s to late 30s, living in a downtown apartment. He likes to cook a lot and entertain his friends and family with dinner parties and drinks. He has a subscription to a popular meal delivery service, and he also greatly cares about the environment. He separates all of his compostables but has to haul everything down 5 flights of stairs in a disposable bag that is ripped on him on more than one occasion. James wants an easier way to dispose of his compostables without the hassle of using flimsy bags. Jane is a young mother in her mid-30s who lives just outside of town in the suburbs. She's an avid gardener and homemaker and spends most of her day tending to her house and kids. She makes home-cooked meals for her family using fresh organic ingredients. She saves all of her compostables for use in her garden or to be properly disposed of in a city bin. Her biggest pet peeve is having to clean out her reusable compost bin after she has transferred everything to her garden. With 2 young children to take care of, she could really use one less thing to have to clean. Coast to Coast Compost will position itself as a premium product that provides a superior solution compared to the rest of the alternatives in the market. The containers will be more durable than biodegradable bags and will be more aesthetically pleasing than other disposable bins such as the one pictured here on the market. This will allow us to charge a slightly higher price per pack of bins than the competition. Our price point will be $24.99 for a starter kit that includes 15 bins and the reusable lid. Additional bins can be purchased in packs of 10 for $9.99. We estimate that 10 bins would be a monthly supply. Coast to Coast Compost will use 4 main vehicles for their marketing efforts. The first is product sampling. There's a strong belief that this product will sell better if it can be gotten into the hands of the consumers to try out. By offering samples of the product through our retail partners, strategic partners, farmers markets, and at local events, more consumers will be exposed to the product and the value it can add to them. Social media marketing on Facebook and Instagram will be used to give the brand a voice and personality. The message through these channels will be focused on the benefits of composting to the planet and how potential consumers can help by using our product. Paid search marketing will be done on Google and Amazon to place sponsored ads at the top of search results page to drive brand awareness and traffic to our website and Amazon listings. And finally, we will use our first adoption customers as advocates and influencers to spread word-of-mouth marketing about our product. All of these methods are relatively cheap strategies to implement and have a lower cost per impression compared to mass media channels. Coast to Coast Compost will use three main channels of distribution: e-commerce, retail, and complementary products. The company's main website will sell the containers, but it will be mostly informational to help provide the why for the consumers, as in, why should I buy this, and why is it a better solution than what I'm already doing. Our Amazon listing will be our main channel for sales, and we will aim to set up a subscribe and save deal on Amazon to encourage recurring automatic orders. Coast to Coast will aim to partner with retailers who share similar company values like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. It's more likely that our product will be exposed to our target demographic in those locations. Lastly, complementary products and strategic partnerships will be formed in order to leverage the distribution network and customer bases of more established companies. Strategic partnerships will be a key component of the marketing plan for Coast to Coast Compost. The company will aim to partner with home meal delivery services such as Blue Apron or Full Circle. In order to get a foot in the door, bins will be offered free of charge for the customers so they can use them to dispose of the food scraps after they are done cooking. Information will be included about our company and where the consumers can purchase the containers. This is a low-cost way to drive brand awareness and to get the product into hands of potential customers around the country. Coast to Coast Compost will work to grow quickly yet carefully into new markets across the country. Markets like Seattle, such as Portland, San Francisco, and Boulder, Colorado, will be targeted for expansion. Sales through online channels and our retail partners will also help to grow the company more rapidly. Lastly, we will take a look at the financial analysis and exit strategy for Coast to Coast Compost. Coast to Coast Compost will secure three sources of funds to finance the business: a $300,000 equity investment from a partner, $750,000 worth of investments from the 5 leadership members combined, and a $5 million low interest rate business loan. For the use of these funds, $3.7 million will go to the secured plant location in South Seattle. $300,000 will go towards the machinery to make the bins, such as the ones shown to the left. $100,000 have been allocated for a marketing budget. $40,000 have been set aside for plant improvements. $70,000 are for the tech and infrastructure, which will include an ERP system, computers, phone systems, and any additional necessary hardware. The remaining portion of the funds will go towards salaries, any expenses including administrative, overhead costs, and shipping expenses, and finally, inputs and inventory. Coast to Coast Compost will open for business beginning in January 2018. Sales are forecasted at $140,000 for the first year. Break-even is projected to take place in 2019, and the company expects to turn a profit beginning in Q2 of 2021. Below shows a timeline of some important key events that we expect to occur over the first 7 years of operation. All of the financial statements, including our income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statements, can be found in the attached business plan. Aside from the long-term financial goals, which will be discussed in the exit plan, Coast to Coast Compost has other goals not associated with financial success. Coast to Coast hopes to expand to 5 distribution centers across the country in the first 7 years, broadening its reach and its economies of scale. It also hopes to become the #1 sold home compost bin in the country. Eventually, Coast to Coast Compost will need to expand into new product lines in order to sustain a successful business model. And finally, the company hopes to give back to the communities that it serves and hopefully improve planet Earth. The exit strategy for Coast to Coast Compost is to hopefully be acquired by another company within the market. In this scenario, the company would relinquish operating control for a lump sum of money as a buyout. The goal for all investing partners is to achieve a 20% return on the investment. All additional funds will then be divided amongst the controlling equity partners within the company. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. I hope you've gotten a sense of the Coast to Coast Compost concept and business model, and I hope that together we can make less waste and make a healthier planet, while also making a little bit of green on the side. Thank you.